So what you got on your list for this evening?
Oh, well, my first one is actually I want to talk about county
Ooh,
because I have been really impressed by the UKDA and how much sort of coverage they're giving the whole county scene. Because I
yeah,
remember when it was a BDO thing, it was sort of like a everyone would just go on darts for Windows. You'd see how your mates are getting on. It wouldn't be all over social media or anything like that. It
yeah.
was all separate, and I was just really impressed by how open it all is now. Like everything was available. Obviously, Darts for Windows is still there. Also, they've now got everything. I've got it up here: National League Awards, Player of the Months, and they're all getting money as well, which I think is really good.
Yeah,
I said, did they do that before?
they did have
I know people used to get
awards.
like
Yeah,
glasses and little trophies for Player of the Match, but for example, I mean Scott Mitchell, he was Dorset's. What did he get it for? I think he was the Player of the Month for Dorset and for the B team, and he got 300 quid.
mm.
Um, Felicia Blay, which is Fallon's twin sister, I believe, she got £80 for being the best lady. Ladies A, Rhiannon O'Sullivan got 150 quid, and then the highest averages, they all got some money as well. And I just think it's really good. I think it's really positive for well, county. I guess is grassroots starts really, isn't it?
Yeah. And the thing was as well, I follow a lot of sites, obviously, on Facebook and different various social medias, and I was following the guy behind the darts for Windows,
Mm.
and it was record numbers in
Yes.
terms of the interest in county. So it's great to see that the interest in county has spiked, but then on the flip side of that, that they're also trying to keep that engagement.
Mm.
Because one of the worst things you could do is go, right, we've got this interesting county, the games are finished, come back next month.
Yeah.
Can we
Yeah. Yeah.
bridge that gap with a little bit more content? And that's something that, where the social media side of things, that's been lacking in county before. The other thing that'll do is it'll bring an element of prestige to it. Everyone wants to, what they're doing needs to matter.
Mm.
And if the people behind it aren't showing that it matters to them, the organisers, then it filters down and that attitude rubs off on the players. I mean, how many times would you go to work and on a Monday morning there's someone in your office or in your warehouse or wherever you go to work who can't be bothered? And they go in there, oh, Mondays are rubbish, blah, blah, blah. And it rubs off. And eventually you get a workforce that are negative. And I feel that dribbed into the county system before, and the county system is like the fabric of darts in the UK, and I feel like it got to a stage where people almost looked over it and thought, well, actually, I don't want to play the county system because it's an expensive system, but there was no prestige
Yeah.
to it, and I feel little things like this are going to help just bring that prestige back to county darts a
I
little bit.
think probably what was going on with the BDO damaged county probably. I think people associated BDO with county and with everything going on with Des Jacklin and the whole BDO World saga with Wayne Warren, and I think it put a bit of a dent. But now it's got a fresh new look. It looks so professional. Um, I just think it's moving in a really good direction, and I feel like the county could get even bigger than it was before. The only thing I worry about with county is I think with the PDC growing and all these young players coming in, I think it's going to be important to get those young players through the county system because I think there'll be some people going straight from academies that are starting to be set up straight to development tour, and I don't think they'll even touch county. I think they'll get straight in the development tour, and I think it will be difficult for county in the future with maybe some of the older players sort of stepping away from darts. I think that's going to be a real
This is
challenge.
one of the challenges they've got to face, and if I was heading it, or if I was ever asked for an opinion on it, I know exactly what mine would be.
Mm.
Mine is basically that county darts needs to be county darts. The development tour needs to be that. The academy needs to be that. How do we develop county darts? Not to try and stop that system of leaping past it, but to try and make it appealing that people want to be involved with it still.
Yeah.
Now, one of the major advantages you've got is streaming things.
Yes.
You don't need a TV company now to bang out some quality content. There's lots of media groups or people could put together to put out different streams, or even you look at things like online darts, what they're doing, and
Mm.
some of the other providers on YouTube, some of the stuff they've been putting out as well. I don't think it'd be unreasonable to look at and think that county darts should be trying to nail that. They could have everybody in there playing except tour card holders. Now, county darts shouldn't be aimed at tour card holders anyway, and it certainly shouldn't stop the development of county darts purely to cater for 128 players that are catered for in a different world. So I think county darts needs to look at some streaming again for further exposure, because county relies a lot on grassroots funding and sponsorships. What better way to engage a sponsor than to provide them views, to say we're going to be viewed on this platform this many times by this demographic, and to be able to back that up with some data, I think would be a great thing for county darts. And I think that could be the way forward. Even if it's like, let's say for example the county could broker a deal with something like Eurosport, for example, and you could say every month we're going to have a featured game. So this month we're going to play Warwickshire versus Yorkshire, and along the bottom we're going to update you of all the other scores going on around the things, and we can keep an eye on it on Darts for Windows, and the commentator will go, oh wow, Scott Mitchell's just banging a 34 average down at Dorset. That's the highest average so far this weekend. That's going to go on for this prize. And I think you can make a really good shot, and I think that's what county does ideally needs to be looking at, because it's got over 100,000 people looked at Darts for Windows this weekend to see the county scores. There is an audience there. Granted, it's probably a friends and family audience rather than a mainstream audience, but there are that many players involved in county darts and that many people interested to see how they get on, that there is an audience, that you could go to a TV company or a YouTube provider or a streamer and say 100,000 people logged in to see results. Is there an opportunity here that we could do this and you could actually watch the games?
Edgar TV.